Good morning, good evening, and good afternoon, wherever you are. I hope this video is going to find you when you're doing fine and in good health. I'm also doing fine at this peripheral end, as you can see. So, ladies and gentlemen, there is the newest uproar in this YouTube street. But you know, the goodness of me is like, I will meet those uproar face to face, disconstruct them, then I serve you with the fact. The positive vibes at its best. The reason why I'm saying so, the uproar comes about when Amaro featured the Jamaican grandma's land back in Jaboanze village in his vlog, with the beautiful scenery of banana plantations plus all other kinds of things. In short, the land itself is productive. Therefore, for that number of fact, we have the naysayers who have just come in the name of JT, in the name of BBTV, who have just decided to react and call it a scam. You know, all other kinds of names and adjectives, as you could believe, were thrown into this YouTube street. So it is also imperative that I come in and demystify the false allegation while I state the facts, and that is my issue. The fair use of commentary, facts check, and demystifying all the lies and stale allegations that are being levelized against IAM-MARWA. Guys, if you're coming across this channel for the very first time, kindly click on the notification bell so that whenever I upload a video, YouTube shall notify instantly. To my loyal subscriber, may God bless you abundantly. So let's dive in after the break. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to my YouTube chit chat. My name is Senior Zach and this is my YouTube channel. So guys, let's drive straight away lest you forget. Amaro, upon arriving in Jaboanze, the second day, Amaro decided to vlog its property. He started within the house. Then after the house, he decided to go the extended part and the external part of the building. Therefore, along his journey, he decided to branch out to the Jamaican's grandma land just to get to know the future, because you know, Amaro vlog always captures the lifestyle. It tells you a little bit of how economic Nyabohanze land is so viable economically. So those are the things. So along the way, he decided to branch into the land. Then what we met there, we were captured by the most jaw-dropping and ecstatic kind of scenery, so greenery with the plantain and bananas that's already grown into that land. Well, this is the problem where the uproar started, because majority of people started bringing in the uproar. Now, IAM-MARWA vlogs is coming because I will feature it at the progression stages of video. Then you will get to know what I'm discussing over here. But to give this video more of the limelight and to stress my point and deliver it home and dry, Black Beauty decided to react so negatively and call IAM-MARWA a scammer. It did not stop from there. JT also jumped into the fray. Perhaps without talking too much or further ado, let's dive into this video. Then you understand what I'm saying.
What a shame on you, like, king of the swamp. A lot of people will not agree or will disagree, or a lot of people will abuse me for saying the truth, but it's the truth, it's the reality. You are bringing the impression like you paid the woman to take over her land, her property. Are you not ashamed? Look at how those bananas have already grown. Did you even let them to bury the woman before you even taking her land to make it a plantation? Are you not ashamed? This is how they're telling people, come and buy land in our community. It's $1,000. It's all scam. Wicked people. Now you are roaming about telling people that you are protecting it for her family. Which family is coming there to take land in the Jaboanze? You should have even sell the land back and give the family their money. But now you accumulated the land. It has become your land. Because the land already was bought in your name. You are a wicked person.
And you've seen the verbal verbosity, laced with toxicity kind of venting and a reaction that are never making sense. You know, I always call them the dwarf in how they reason. Because the issues of the matters land itself is so emotive. But there are rules and the guiding principle that are making IAM-MARWA to behave so? The question that I need to ask, has Amaro grabbed anybody's land? No. And why are the vexations still geared towards painting Amaro in a picture that Amaro isn't? There is a propaganda that's skewed choreographed mainly to achieve a particular kind of objective, which they want in all means Amaro to go down and to be known as a scammer, which Amaro isn't. Because Amaro has done it so plain. When the land was being bought, it was plain on the camera. When the unfortunate demise of the grandma that happened, Amaro also was called name that he was responsible, yet it was a clot that really happened, embolism, the pulmonary embolism that really made the grandma rest in peace, and may her soul rest in peace. Quite unfortunate, because Amaro has endured a lot in this YouTube street. People still continuing calling Amaro the same names, yet they haven't succeeded in their objective, of which at times Amaro even told them, you cannot demolish a foundation that you never built, because you don't know what kind of material such kind of foundation was built on. You may try to shake it a little bit, of which at times Amaro has been shaken, but he's still on this YouTube street because his eye is on the ball, the bigger picture that we are still seeing until we reach the Rubicon. We are still on that journey. And that's why I'm here to demystify all these kind of false and taint allegations that are to the detrimental of Amaro reputation are never making sense. Because these people are bankroll on a payroll of spewing and hurling all these kind of dirty reputations towards Amaro. And that is it. Another question from that vent is it possible that Amaro can sell the land in absence of the family, or in absence of the already the demise of the Jamaican grandma? So these are the questions that we are going to answer at the progression stages of this video. But before we get to answer such kind of question, perhaps let's listen to what Amaro said. Listen to what majority of people saw and started bringing all the still vexations and uproar. What really caused the uproar that JT took in the street, that BBT also took on the street and started calling Amaro as a scammer? Because they never believed. So perhaps let's jump into this video.
So for those who don't know, let me explain a little bit history of this farm. Maybe some of you have no idea. There was one of you guys, one of my greatest fans of all times actually. I feel like maybe I will even name something over her just to maintain that relationship. She wanted to come and live in our village here, guys. She was Jamaican originally, but who had lived in the UK, and she loved our village so much that she wanted to own a piece of land and actually move to Kenya and live with us here. So she bought this land, and unfortunately when she went back to the UK, she got ill and she passed on. So, and we told the elders about that, and we told the family that we will take care of this land until they come or they tell us anyhow they tell us. Maybe if they say, oh, maybe sell that land and send the money to us, or they say, okay, keep. But so far this land is for Jamaican grandma. That's how we used to call her. If you've watched me for so long, you know her. We were here purchasing together. A very beautiful soul, you know. May your soul rest in peace. I know she's here.
It's so simple, because Amaro started to show you all the scenery. All the plantations are so viable. How the land itself are so viable. You know, these are the things that majority of people couldn't believe, that you mean there is a progress and a positive progress and a plantain, that Amaro is now planting all these kind of things in this YouTube street. So this is what now, because the land itself is so productivity and Amaro is benefiting from it. Therefore, it brings an uproar, which means their mainly aim is Amaro never to benefit from anything. Has Amaro grabbed the land? No, Amaro has not grabbed the land. We've just had Amaro telling us that the land still belongs to Jamaican grandma, though it's no more, but it's been in touch of the children so that they can come and claim the land. or at all they can sell the land so that it can send them money. Yet, all of it is against all the odds of the principles that you see the JT and BBT coming on this YouTube street to call Amaro name that Amaro ought to have sold that land long time and send these people money. Now, this is the thing that I want to tell them to know. The naysayer, these are the things that you need to know about the land. One, the land was never bought in the name of Amaro. The land was bought in the name of Jamaican grandma, but Amaro is the one who saw the affidavit for him, so that Amaro stands for him because, but as per that time, Jamaican grandma never had a Kenyan ID. So you need somebody as a trustee to protect your land. So Amaro was just a trustee, because you still don't know the issue of public trustee. These are the people who have been endorsed by the state, or a person, a nominee who have been endorsed by the person who wants to buy the land. So the land is being bought under the two names, but the principal name becomes the person who deposits the affidavit. Therefore, Amaro is that person. Therefore, there is also the privilege and rights of a nominee under the Land Acts. One, you can protect this land for this guy when this guy is absent. Are you there? Then, awaiting for that kind of time, there is something that also the person who has saw affidavit, like an Amaro, cannot do. One, you cannot sell that land. It's in the law. And the land itself is protected by the land registrar. So this land is protected because the affidavit was sworn. Whether the name of Amaro features, Amaro can never do anything in the matter of selling that land. So ignore all the stale gibberish that people are spreading on this YouTube street, telling them that Amaro is going to sell this land. Amaro cannot, because it's protected under the law. We have the principal buyer. The principal buyer is Jamaican grandma. Amaro is coming as a trustee. So a trustee can never sell anything. A trustee can help you negotiate. A trustee can help you protect land in your absence. In this case, Amaro is protecting the land for Jamaican grandma. So how is the protectorate? To protect that land, there are how you can protect. You can make the land productive. And also, it's also in tandem with African cultural, some of the Africans. When somebody gives you the land, that I give you this land, take care of that land. Simply means the ownership doesn't change. The ownership is for the principal buyer or the principal owner. You're coming as a caretaker. And a caretaker, there are things you can do in that land. You can farm it. You can do anything apart from building. Are you there? So that you can protect that land. If you don't do such kind of things, that you leave your land and follow, you leave your land so idle outside there, what will happen is, one, people will start disrespecting that land. Some people will start encroaching the land. Are you there? And sometimes it might also bring squabbles. So for people to also respect that land is to fence it. Once you fence it and put a gate, you can make it so viable. And that is what Amaro is doing, so that people can never trespass. People can protect that land as well. But majority of people who cannot sell such kind of things so easy will never understand this, because their reasoning and thinking is that of a dwarf. They can never engage in a sober argument. Their argument is always laced with some sort of verbal verbosity, the verbal diarrhea, with kind of intimidating word, hurling insult that never making sense. It's like they have to insult you so that they can raise their ego or appraise their ego. At one point, I described them, the reprobates. Okay, leave alone the reprobates. I described them, these are the people who are suffering the self-esteem delinquents, the delinquencies. So, sometimes how they come and mint and appraise their delinquency is like abusing other people. That's where they get refuge, or where they take refuge to boost their self-esteem. And that's why most of the time when Amaro works in silence, Amaro will come and slap their ego. And how does Amaro work? Slap their ego? Working in silence, be productive, such that when Amaro unveil such kind of good scenery and the productive our land is and kind of development program, therefore they start talking things that are never making sense in this YouTube street. They result themselves into assault, into insults and abusing other people. So guys, that is the parameters that it can, these things can be done. That's why, again, even in the issue of Jamaican land, Jamaican uncle land, Amaro is under, just protecting, until such a time when Jamaican grandma or Jamaican uncle will come back, and then they go and transfer or decrypt. We call it the landed equipment. You decrypt. Decrypting simply means changing the ownership, transfer from one place to another. That's the equipment. But these are the people who will want to come in this YouTube street, rant without any legal background, without any legal backing, without any kind of a factual backing. Their self is to rant, insult. You check their content, there is nothing. What you can pick is just total insults and throwing scam. But whenever they are told, prove it, they cannot prove. Prove it. That's how it works. But you know, these are the people who sit and they have audiences that are following them. Also, they're feeding on the verbiages. They don't know. And that's why majority of them, sometimes I've seen asking them question and asking gintus of the like and the negative. Why are you letting the same family, one family disturb you? No, the family are not disturbing you. The problem is you've been made to think that Amaro families are the people causing chaos, are disturbing people in the village. No. The likes of Mugesi, once your grandfather or your father sells the land to Congress dad to pay for your school fee, now you want to come and claim the land. No. Nobody forces you to go and sell the land. There is a principle in Kenya that the willing seller and the willing buyer, so long as you agree. Therefore, there is a framework on how such kind of land could be bought. As such must be done. You must also go to the land registrar, who will then call the board to agree whether the land could be sold or not. The land also, they have to search the land so that they get to know, is it a freehold or is it is it a freehold? Or is it the one that is being under trustee? And have you paid all the dues? Does it have a rate, or it's already been settled? So a land itself also must qualify. Who is the owner? They have to get to know the history of the land itself before it's sold. That's why majority of people are being told, do not just buy land because I'm buying land or you have money. And that's why Jamaican grandma was present to the lands office and the lands registry. That's why Jamaican grandma also was there and was also in the same meeting with the land registrar, and everything was filed. So, at what circumstances that Amaro can sell the land? Amaro cannot sell the land now. The person who can sell the land because the land was Jamaican grandma and is no more. Now the children, the money for the children, because these people were listed as a beneficiary. These are the people who could claim or could file for succession so that they can take the estate, we call the probate estate of the Jamaican grandma. It's not Amaro, because Amaro, that land does not belong to him. So the children are the people to claim succession and file with the registrar of land. So from that time is when the equipment will change hands. Amaro will help them, because Amaro is just a trustee, just to protect. It's not the owner of the land. So if you didn't know, these are the things that the naysayer must be aware of. And with all that sense, I hope it's now making sense. It doesn't make verbiage. It doesn't make abusive language. It doesn't make all the ranting without knowing the boundary. But it's a knowledge that you are also understanding going forward. So stop all this verbiage. Amaro has never stole anything for anybody. Amaro was so specific in his statement. The land is for Jamaican grandma. He's waiting for the children to give the direction. How children can file for the succession. then succession can happen immediately. It's not at the prerogative of IAM-MARWA. So for succession to happen, the children also must approve that the Jamaican grandma was the mom. All this kind of death certificate must also be provided, or the burial permit must also be provided, so that all the equipment must take place simultaneously. After such is done for the succession, if they can decide that now we don't want succession, we want our land to be sold. Now, once it's already been equipped to the owner, then the best thing is now the children has got right to dispose. Now they can tell Amaro, you can look for us the market, you negotiate, sell it, then upon doing it, now send us the money. But you can, the reaction and the reasoning of the BBT and JT podcast from all the naysayers, verbally in this YouTube street, never making sense. You know, it's like the reason like people who never went to school. This is a simple thing that they don't understand. And this is the message that I wanted you guys to understand. If you cannot sell it, therefore, forget about it. So let me know your thoughts at the comment section. Until next time, this is Senior.